Hi everybody. So I just wanted to make this video um, about prayer. And I've been learning a lot, like just since January alone, um, and actually have seen how powerful prayer can be. Um, I wanted to first share, like, just what God has been revealing to me. um, Things that I've already heard about and learned about, but when you start to see it in your own life, it becomes like, I don't know, stronger. Like, let me just explain. Okay. So, I know that there has to be some level of faith, believing that prayer, like having no doubt, right? There's those scriptures that say, like, faith as small as a mustard seed, your prayers will be answered. Or, like, you know, when your prayers, when you say to this mountain, move from here to there, if there's any doubt, pretty much it won't happen. Like, type things, right? Those scriptures pop up to my head right now. And so I knew there was a level of faith that you needed when praying, right? And no doubt that in those prayers would be answered. So even though reading those scriptures and hearing it, and I still wanted no doubt. I didn't know how to, like, have no doubt. Like, in life, things happen, and it's like, it's about trusting God. It really is, giving it completely to Him, and we're not in control. Learning that, and stuff like that. But it's this year, like, He's taught me how about intercessory prayer. Like, a friend of mine invited me to her group, and I didn't really know much about it, but I learned, like, it's just, interceding for others, praying for others. And, it started something in me. And this was something that also, through a church I have served in intercessory prayer through a city church. And so I've prayed for the service, like, throughout the service, and I've grown in that. And also, all my life, my personal prayer life has grown from, like, me just praying for everyone else, then, thanking God for all that I had, and then finally starting to pray for myself, like, in ways, right? But He's still teaching me things. Like, when I was starting to pray out loud to people, it was like there's some, like, worry of what others would hear, and if it's okay, if it's what they want to hear, right? But ultimately, it should be the same as when I'm intimately praying with God, like, just communication, like. And so I would practice, like, and it took, like, some embarrassment in the beginning, and, like, admitting, like, I'm not used to this, and it kind of puts me in this role of learning myself, right? I'm speaking, like, during counseling sessions, like, I'm also on this path of discovery, right? Like, I'm not better, I'm growing in this, so I eventually just started to hear my prayers, and, like, people were thanking me for that. I said mattered, like, so believing that what I said was enough, just standing behind what I said, and not being like, I'm sorry, or, like, the shy me, and, wondering if that really did help them, just knowing that it did, like, it was good, being confident. So, I also learned about fasting, and I've heard about it all the time, and people saying like it's changed them and all this stuff, and I'm like, it wasn't until I actually did it myself did I finally realize what it meant to like fast and like completely give yourself to God and searching for his will for your life. And I was constantly every day seeking it, right? And praying, thinking of God, praying to him, communicating with him, right? That's pretty much what prayer is. It's just me talking to him. And then he taught me how to be specific when I pray, like not just the normal prayers, like pray for healing. How? Healing for their back, right? Healing for emotionally too, spiritually, like whatever that is, like healing how, and then asking them if it's better. I mean, that, and then praying again if it doesn't, and it's just like, what else has he taught me? Pretty much to receive prayers, right, for myself, and ask. It's okay to ask for prayers, because I've noticed recently that I don't ask for prayers. Like, I'll pray for everybody anytime, all the time. I'm being more confident and bold and praying out loud, right, in group settings and stuff. But wait, asking people to pray for me, I didn't ever feel like I needed it. But of course we all need prayers in some way, right? So to receive the prayers and allow them to hear it and be like, yeah, pray for that. It's just, that's all I wanted to share. Pretty much my growth and experience through prayer. And like, I've heard it, I've seen it, and I've also like experienced it myself. And it took me going through it myself to really understand like the levels of prayer and how much deeper you can get. And it's going to continue. Like, I can read more books, I can develop a deeper prayer, and like, the confidence in faith has grown since my fasting. And I mean, I still struggle here and there, and stuff, but and my relationship with God has grown. And that's ultimately what he wants, is like a relationship with us. So like, Jesus, I'm just so grateful lately of like everything in my life, and I'm just so joyful and peaceful, and I don't want that to end. I want to continue it. And I don't say this to like make you feel bad if you're not going through that. I want to encourage you that you can be there. It's like, takes like being grateful for what you have and being positive, and like just I love having God in my life and knowing like he's providing for us and like just loves us so much and is for our good, right? Is doing things like, will answer our prayers and give us the desires of our heart. And like, I'm getting what it means to not doubt him and trust him completely in ways. And I see his favor in my life in so many ways. And I seriously want just everyone to experience the feeling I have in my soul, And I thank you for listening. And look at this cross right here behind me. It says grace. Yeah, Jesus' grace is enough for us, even in our weakness. Like, that scripture still is really heavy. And yeah, I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for my relationship with the Lord. And thank you again for listening. Have a good night. Bye.